Greetings, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Let's Get Gritty podcast with yours truly, Dr. India White. I'm thrilled to be here with you guys as we are, entering into this wonderful last month of the year. So much has happened. I hope that you are, meeting all of the things that you checked off on your New Year's resolution, which seems like 3 months ago, but I can't believe you've actually come down to December. I don't know about you. I'm not even ready to put up all the Christmas and other decorations yet. I mean, it's just so much to take in. Some people are like, they still haven't even, thought to take out the Christmas tree, right? So it's just a lot of spinning and things going on. It's a great time of the year, and I hope that you get many things accomplished and that you get to spend these last few days with loved ones and those that care about you. With that said, I want to make some announcements. First things first, the Grit and Equity, or I want to make some announcements. The Let's Get Gritty podcast with Dr. India White will be featured on Spotify and on all of the social media platforms. My social media platforms for you to follow: Facebook is Miss India White, LinkedIn is The India White, Twitter is Indy Speak and Teach, Instagram is Indy238, YouTube is India White 123, TikTok is Dr. India White, and I recently just joined Blue Sky. So yes, you can find me there. I think you can just enter my name, Dr. India White, and you'll be able to find me there. I don't remember my hashtag just yet, but I'm on Blue Sky as well. I also wanted to remind you guys of the upcoming conference that I have coming up for all of you amazing women. Get Gritty for the New Year Women's Empowerment Conference. This will be held virtually. It will be online. I'm super excited about it. You can find us. It will be on December 19th, where we will be featuring many different speakers, panelists, things like that. It will be December 19th. The admissions is free. It is waived for you so that you can have a great time and come up here and network and find other people that you can connect with for the upcoming year. At that conference, we will have so many different resources for you, including the Grit calendar that I'm super excited about as I'm launching this, as you're getting ready to prepare for the new year. I think taking the Grit calendar is a wonderful way to do that. And thank you to those that have already been going in and getting your Grit calendar for this conference. I also wanted to remind you of the Grit Academy. We are registering students for 2025 as well. So if you have students that need tutoring, please send them my way. If you're in a school district or whatever, and you're needing a tutor, I would be honored to join you guys. Also, please check out the Grit Mini Workshop on the Grassroots Workshops website. Whenever you get a chance, teachers, leaders, that's for you. And last but not least, my website, www.india-white.com, for books, blogs, or to schedule me for your next speaking or coaching event. Now, thank you so much for sitting, through those announcements and listening to me. I'm super honored to have a guest with us on the show today. One thing I love about just the way of work and what we do in society are the people that come alongside you to support, including our attorneys, our lawyers. And so I am super thrilled to have someone on the show that has definitely proven that they have had nothing less but grit. They are a rock star in their own right. You need to visit their website when you get a chance and see the amazing accomplishments that they have been able to achieve, along with the things they've overcome. I am absolutely thrilled to bring on this rock star. And so with that said, please help me welcome to the Let's Get Gritty podcast, attorney Patricia Rodiguez. How are you?
Hi, what an amazing introduction. I'm like, I need you to come to every single thing I ever speak at ever and give me that intro.
You are so
awesome.
sweet.
Thank you.
Well, listen, attorney, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I currently own and operate my own law firm here in Los Angeles. I gross about 2.5 million a year. I have about 20 people who work for me, and lots of men, lots of women. And it's a pretty incredible experience to get to boss men around all day. Feeling a little aggressive at the end, but they're all very respectful, and there's so much love between me and my team members. And I've been doing it for 15 years. I do criminal defense, custody, divorce, real estate law, as well as personal injury, both on the plaintiff and defense side. So basically, anytime you're losing your spouse, you're losing your kids, you're losing your house, you're losing your freedom, like if you're losing money or you're trying to win some money, then you come see me and I fix your problem. And then my business manager is paid to bring me 5 more problems.
I love it. Oh my gosh, this is great. And I really like your energy. I really love just knowing attorneys, lawyers, having, I think attorneys, you guys are powerful because you're literally saving lives, like you said. And, kudos to all those that I know personally that have been beautiful in my own life. And I'm sure you have so many success stories. But listen, I know you didn't just arrive at the top as this shining bright star. What you have just described here takes a lot of grit. Now, when I talk about grit, I talk about grit being great resilience in time. Okay. And so with that said, I do want to ask you some questions about grit and how has having great resilience in time played a role in your success today?
I literally got chills while you were saying that. I don't think there's anything that played a bigger role in my success than grit and resilience. I was born to a working mother, a poor working mother. She was a runaway at 13, had my sister at 15, had my brother at 18, had me at 21. We were homeless until I was 7. We didn't have a place to sleep or food to eat. And so we panhandled in Hollywood to make money. And unfortunately, there was a lot of drugs. Poverty breeds abuse. And, you can say that to people. I was mentioning to somebody else whose father was a heroin addict, you can say to people that my mom was a crackhead. It's not the same as going into a crack house and seeing the person cracked out and not understanding that at 10 and then asking for a hug and her not being able to do it. And you think she's sober and you're walking yourself to school crying. I mean, those are the moments that grit and resilience kept me going. And God bless, my mom is clean and has been for 20 years. And she's my biggest and most inspirational, inspiring story. If I have strength, she has strength on steroids.
Yes.
She is just the most mentally strong person I know. And that's just kind of one snippet. There was bad choices along the way myself, having experienced so much abuse and poverty as a child. I did drugs myself when I was in my teenage years. I started on meth when I was 13. So getting clean off of that, it takes some resilience. And every part of the story, getting into college at USC, going on to law school, championing outside of the country and going to Tokyo. And my mom graduated the 7th grade. I didn't have a father, so I didn't have anybody, to really, God bless my grandma who told me, education gets you past poverty. And so I'm blessed every day that I know to get educated and to keep educating myself. And I show up and it feels great. You talk about energy and it's just being here, just getting to wake up every morning and being alive when a lot of the people I went to school with are not alive or they're in prison or their lives just didn't turn out the way mine did. And so I'm just grateful, just every day, incredibly appreciative. I know the more appreciation I show the universe, the more it gives back to me. So I was 7, seeing the worst the world had to offer. And I was I want to change things. I want to make a difference. And people were be a lawyer, be an attorney, and you can change the world. And so I was I'm going to be an attorney. And I had no idea what that was at 7. And it was that undeniable belief, that unwavering belief that I could change the world, that I think really got it. The universe parted ways. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy in any way. There were so many dark moments. There were so many moments I shouldn't have made it. And the universe was oh, no, we have purpose for you. We have plan for you. You are going to change people's lives. And so I get to do that now. Every day I get to wake up and have an impactful experience on people's lives in a way that it excites me. It invigorates me. It makes me want to go triple hard to make sure that I get them. And look, I can't save everybody. I can't win them all. There's going to be losses in there, but hey, that teaches you the most, right? So the losses aren't bad either, but boy, do I love just being here.
I'm happy you're here. And you talked about that belief. Now, I have a grit framework, and I talk about 4 pillars of what helps grit come alive. There's growth mindset, there's resilience, there's self-efficacy, and there's time management. You explained self-efficacy like never before. Your belief in yourself. And I need the audience to hear this because there are many teachers on my platform, business leaders, and sometimes they're dealing with either students that have low self-efficacy, or maybe even themselves. Maybe they're new to the profession or they just got promoted and they're like, I just don't know that I can be that person. I mean, like, look, you came on the show a shining star. You have made it. Congratulations, by the way. And I pray double, triple of your business, right? But the thing is, when you were that 7-year-old girl and you were going through homelessness, and, you know, I'm sure you probably went through some things in school. People probably weren't as nice. You probably, you know, just didn't know what the future would look like. To the person or persons that are dealing with those similar situations, whether it's for students that they're teaching or maybe even themselves, they're in a dark situation. What advice do you have for them to build their own self-efficacy and their belief that, yes, I can do this. I believe in myself. I belong here.
I mean, even in this moment, after I've made it, I still feel that way, right? Yeah. I still have moments. I have personal problems and personal relationships, maybe my most significant other relationship. And it's like, okay, so life isn't perfect in every way. And sometimes it's really scary and you don't know the unknown, but believe in yourself, because like everyone says, if you don't, like, how is anybody else ever going to believe in you? But it's bigger than believing in yourself, right? You are the universe. It's about believing in the universe. Do we believe in the universe? Do we believe that the universe is a kind universe? Because if you believe that the universe is a kind universe, then you have to know everything that's happening in your life is happening for your best good, even if you can't see it. But in that metaphysical, non-physical existence, the vibrations are changing to put you on a better wavelength, to take you to places you've never been before, but that are more magical than you could have ever expected or thought. And here's what Abraham Hicks teaches. I'm a big Abraham Hicks fan, right? She teaches that you don't have to know the how. I don't know the how. I don't know how my relationship's going to get repaired, but I do know everything is working out for me, right? Yeah. I do know that the universe is a kind universe, and the universe does so much for me already. I woke up this morning and I had oxygen in my lungs. I woke up this morning and the sky was out there. Wow. The sun was up there. The moon's going to come out tonight. Like the most important, most magical parts of the universe. We just expect them. We just wake up and say, that's all going to be there. That's all there. It's all going to be there when we go to sleep. I'm going to have oxygen in my lungs. I believe the universe is going to do these miraculous things. So why is it hard to believe that the universe will do miracles through me? Why is it difficult to believe that the universe loves me? Like, and I didn't always have this. I did not always have this. A large part of this, I'm 41 now, right? It comes in time, in little pieces, in little snippets, and it's not linear. I might have it today and not tomorrow, and have it the next day. Yeah. So it's a lot about the journey, right? Just embracing the contrast and believing that even in this moment that might feel impossible, there is a moment coming that's going to be better and bigger than anything you've ever felt before. And in my darkest, hardest moments, I say the same things others say, right? Turn to your friends, turn to your family, make sure that you're there for other people in the moments of your strength, so that when you are weak, they are there for you. If you aren't there for people when you're at your best and when you have it, then it's no surprise that you're alone when you don't have it. And that's hard. That's hard. Like, it's hard to be alone through it. So, I definitely think the connections that we make with people are so much more valuable than the connections that we make at a job, or that we make, the people that work for me, the people that I work with, those are family. The clients, I'd like to believe that I treat every client as if they're my only client. I want to give as much as I take. I want to leave people in a better place than they were than when I found them, and those things really move the needle. And there's a bank of the universe, right? You're banking money in the bank of the universe when you're doing all these things. So then when time comes and you need to pull from that, and you're like, hey, make a deposit into my actual physical account, the universe is like, we got you.
That's beautiful. Oh my gosh. I wish everyone felt that way. I think some people have a mindset of scarcity, which I think they think they have to steal, they have to rip people off, they have to, break trusts. And I think that's just a mindset of scarcity.
That is absolutely it.
And that's why they don't know how to really bounce back either, as effectively as they could. So it makes me think, how do you help people, like, when they're trying to maybe bounce back and overcome obstacles? How do they do that with grit? But then also, how do they have this positive, wholesome outlook that you've had?
So a lot of it has to do with not trying to change them, not trying to make them be anything, the best thing you could do for them is be the example of what you want to see in them. So I live by example, right? If I'm a positive person, if I've got positive energy and you come into my space, then if you're on the same wavelength, you're going to feel that positivity, or you're going to get into that positive space. Now, here's the thing is, you can't save everybody, right? Because that's the, Abraham would never teach to go into the den of negativity and hope that you are going to make that a positive space. She would say, go to the most positive place and be positive. That's not always the case, right? Like, I work in some of the hardest industries, like some of the hardest areas, custody battles over children. But what I can do is I can always show them a positive attitude. I can always be kind and understanding to them. Yeah. I can always be in alignment myself with the wave frequency that I want them to get on. And if they're capable in and of themselves to turn their tuner and to refrequency themselves and to put themselves on that frequency, then they can experience and they can accept it and they can love it. I recently let someone stay with me, out of necessity for her. And I hoped to bring her onto my wavelength, but in reality, she's not able to move from the dark cloud that is over her. And while I would love to save everybody, what will happen if you do not detach from that is you will turn to their frequency. Wow. You cannot think so much of yourself that you have the ability to go against the universal laws. Again, believe in yourself and believe in the universe. But if you believe in the universe, then the law of attraction says that if you are on a positive wavelength, you will attract that. If you are on a negative, you will attract that. If you put yourself in a bunch of negative wavelengths, you can't expect that eventually you won't tune to that frequency, because that's what you're around all the time. So look, it's okay to bring people into your space, and it's okay to share your frequency with them. If they want to get on that frequency with you, great. But if they do not, then their journey, and here's the thing is, then don't stop them. Don't keep them from the thing in their life that would help them tune to their right frequency. Because that's all you're doing by trying to keep them where they are and get them to tune to the frequency. If they're not capable of doing it where they are, let them go to where they need to be so that they can get to their frequency. And I'd love to believe, because I believe in the universe, and I believe that it's a kind universe, and I believe that in miracles, that one day the entire population of the human species will turn their frequency to a positive conscious awareness. And can you imagine all the peace that we would feel? There would be no wars, there would be no hunger, there would be no suffering, there would be no scarcity, and that's the hope, but until then, I leave all that to the universe, right? Like, it's really not my job. It's really not my job to get that person they're trying to teach to get it all. My job is to be true to myself, is to be the example that I want from them, and to give them the tools. So for instance, I listen to a lot of YouTube videos, like hypnotherapy YouTube videos. So hypnotherapy for peace, hypnotherapy to stop smoking, hypnotherapy to get thin. You can literally, whatever ails you, you can get into your subconscious through it. And so if I think that someone would benefit from getting somewhere, I might come around them and play the YouTube video in the background, not even tell them that I was doing it, not even expect for them to hear it and change or to just do it, because I know it's seeping into their subconscious. And then before you know it, they're going to be asking me about affirmations, and they're going to be saying, oh my gosh, I got this $100 that I wasn't expecting, or, these positive things will start to happen. And it's also important to remind people to start with the smallest little thing. So you don't think that you could dream up the $1 million right now. You don't think that you could you don't think that the universe could just fix all your financial problems. Okay, well, ask the universe to send you $1. Ask the universe to send you 50 cents, or ask the universe to send you a quarter every so often. So you know that the universe is there, and you know that you're capable of it. Start with something small. And after you accomplish that, and you get that strength back and that confidence back, and that belief back, right? Ask, believe, receive. So part of that ask, believe, it's believing in ourselves. It's not just, and then receive, then be willing to receive it. You can believe in yourself all day, but if you don't believe that you are worthy of receiving the blessings and the good stuff, and I just have to back up a little bit. The scarcity issue is so real, because I grew up poor. I grew up homeless. I was taught money doesn't grow on trees. It's so difficult to get ahead, all that. But how about the top 1% isn't like that? How about, and I just use her as an example, but Beyonce, when Blue Ivy was in her belly, was being told, you're special, you're important, money is going to come to you easy.
Yeah.
And then she was born, and I was reinforced to her every single day that you are elite, that you are, that money is easy, that this will always be an easy life's experience for you, that luxury will come to you, that you deserve it. And so we all deserve that. We all have a choice, no matter what we were told, no matter where we were born, no matter what our circumstances. We have a choice to change that thought process. Yeah. We can choose to know that I am worthy, that I am special, that I am elite, that I am great, that I have wants, and those wants are perfectly acceptable. It doesn't make me selfish to want the best for myself, right? It doesn't make me selfish to want to be happy, to want to have lots of money. It doesn't take away from anybody else, because it all already exists here. It's not like I'm creating it out of thin air. No, law of energy says it's not created or destroyed. So the $1 million, it already exists. It's already here. All you've got to do is attract it to yourself. And you attract it by believing in yourself and by being willing to accept it and receive it when it comes.
Right. And I think too, for those that are, maybe they already have wealth, but they think the greed kicks in and they want more wealth and they try to take it from people in ways that they shouldn't. I think they also need some recalibrations to know that, if you already have wealth, why would you have to take it from someone else? Or, why would you have to?
Why do you even need it anymore?
Yeah, like why? And why would they think that they would enjoy the harvest of that anyway, right? Because it wasn't done right. So I think too, one thing I love about the universe is it does give you, I think there's like a karma, like a vengeance that it also sets in for those that do unjust things towards us. And I think that, that's also a part of it, is making sure that your checks and balances will leave you on the up and winning side of things taking place. Because I think that the universe is a nice place, but unfortunately there are people that have undergone some wrongdoings, right? And so I think with them, it's hard sometimes for them. And I think, I don't know if that's scarcity or if that's just dealing with just some things that they're having to overcome on their own, some various battles. So with that said, I don't know, how would you support these people in giving them advice to overcoming obstacles in particular, if they are trying to get on that positive frequency, but maybe they've been scammed, maybe they have, undergone some type of disservice, and they just don't seem to have the oomph in their step anymore. They don't know how to get that grit back. What advice do you have to them?
Yeah, I deal with this so much because I deal with a lot of women and men that call in to handle custody cases and handle divorce cases. And for a lot of them, there's domestic violence involved.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And so, so these people have been traumatized. These people have,
yes.
And I give them the hard truth. And I got chills as I was about to say it. The hard truth is that stems from misalignment between their non-physical self and their physical self. It doesn't stem from the other person. Right? Because they had a choice in every aspect of whatever they're dealing with. And they have a choice now. They're on the phone with me now, choosing to try to leave. Whether they actually continue down that path and make it happen. And I understand, I'm very responsive to the fact that some women don't have a lot of choice, right? There's no money involved. There's things that are making it feel as though they're trapped. But ultimately, it all lies within, right? Again, if that person can align themselves in that negative space and ask the universe for what they really want, i.e., I want out of this relationship. So when those people come to me, I have these hard conversations with them, but I remind them that while it's about alignment, they created that. They created the space they were. They allowed that person to treat them that way. And this is coming from someone who was with somebody for 4 years in college who beat on me. So I know firsthand, I know personally, like, people treat you the way you allow them to treat you. And so it's a matter of that person finding the dignity and the love within inside themselves to ask, why am I allowing this to happen to me? Because there are choices. I can choose to reach out to everybody and anybody, church or otherwise, that can help me exit this situation. I can reach out to a lawyer and see if I can get his finances to pay for things so that I can leave with the kids. I can get a protective order so that I can stay in the house and he can't come back here. But ultimately, you could do all of those things. You could get that person completely out of your life. But if you haven't made the internal changes to have accountability for the choices, then you'll just end up in the next abusive relationship, right? Because you're still misaligned and you're still attracting this that reflects that you are in love with yourself. So the first place that I tell clients to go is to find their love for them. And for me, it was in hypnotherapy. You know, in hypnotherapy, I was able to go on my subconscious. I was able to retrain my memories to connect with different emotions or, you know, but for everybody, it may be different. Maybe it's getting into the gym. You know, maybe it's getting into the gym and regaining that physical appearance that they had when they were younger before they let this psychological stuff take them over. Maybe it's, you know, eating better. Maybe it's sleeping better. But all those things are so critically important. The people that come to me that are most broken are people who've not been eating well, people who've not been sleeping well, people who, and even as I speak right now, I want to change the conversation, right? I want to make it a positive one, right? So for me, the people that come to me, the things that they can improve on the most, that would make their life more positive is if they ate better, is if they slept better, is if they worked out more, you know, if they took more time for themselves, if they stopped putting everyone's needs and wants before them and waited till the very last moment of every day to do anything. And then that moment passes and now they've just done nothing for themselves. And they wonder why they're so broken and they're so low and it's so hard. It's like, well, just start increment by increment, start minute by minute, start moment by moment, live in the here and the now. You know, that's a big part of it, is living in the here and now, not worried about the future, not reminiscing about the past, but just here in this moment. If this is a good moment, and this is a great moment, I'm having an incredible time with this interview. I'm having an incredible time talking to you. You're an incredible energy. We're co-creating amazingly. So this feels great. This moment is great. And if the next moment is great, next moment is great, and then my whole life is just great.
Yeah.
So if I can take it in those moments, and Abraham teaches, right? Because I like to give credit for all of this info and knowledge that I'm sharing. And so she likes to say, when you're not in that vortex, when you're not in that space where it's all just exciting and happy and great, okay? Well, that's the contrast. Sometimes you live in the contrast, and you have to live in the contrast in order for it to contrast, for you to see how great it is over here. So embrace the contrast. Don't be upset when you're living in the contrast. Don't be upset when you lost the car. Don't be upset when you lost the house. Literally, don't be upset about those things. The more you can let that go and not think about it and say, hey, universe, I want a new house. I want a new car. And for those really wealthy people, those people that just keep needing more money, it's because all the money in the world isn't going to align their non-physical self with their physical self. It's not.
Happy. Right.
You're never going to find happiness through money, because you can buy the car and you can buy the house, and then what?
So then what about people that hate? Like, for instance, you have haters, people that will come into your space and they just don't like you no matter what, whether it's a bias, whether it's whatever. How do you help us to have a perspective of knowing it's not necessarily you, but it's something with this other person, especially if you show up bright and bubbly and you're shining and you're on top, and then you encounter people that they don't necessarily agree, you know, like how do you?
Sure. Everybody, you know, because you realize that those people are not aligned with their non-physical self. So their disalignment doesn't mean that I should disalign myself. Their disalignment doesn't even mean that they actually hate me, because they don't. They hate themselves. So it's like all you can do is pour love into that and hoping that they then get that love and can love themselves. But if they can't, bro, keep hating yourself. And I'm sorry for that. One thing I learned in hypnotherapy was there are two types of people. Only two. There are only two types of people that exist on this earth. Those that hurt people because they've been hurt, and those that are straight up psychopaths that hurt people because they're psychologically screwed up and they're sociopaths, and that's who they are. But the sociopaths are only about 2% or something. And maybe 5%. Now, that's a big raw number, sure, but it's a small statistical percentage. The probability that you are dealing with a hater that is a sociopath and that just wants to put out hate is so small. The likelihood is you're dealing with somebody who's hurt, and they're hurting, and they're hurting, and they're hurting people because they're hurt. We all know this. People say the closest get the mostest, hurt people. I mean, that stuff is so true, like so true at its core, that you have to accept that as real in order for you to not internalize any of that. And look, it's really easy to say that about like some random stranger on the internet, but when my significant other and I aren't getting along, it hurts. It hurts that the person that I love is hurt and hurting me. So what do I do in moments like that? Take a breath, take a step back, refocus on myself, make sure I'm in alignment. If I'm in alignment, then if he comes in my space, he better be too, because if he's not, the universe will push him out. I don't have to try or not want that or want that. It's just the universe will protect the positive energy from the negative. And so, and you see it a lot when people say like misery loves company. Because people have such a hard time tuning to the proper frequency and loving themselves that it is easier to get someone else to tune to their frequency than it is to upgrade and get themselves to that next level.
Wow. You know, this is so powerful. Like this part, because the universe will protect. And sometimes people are like, well, why am I lonely, or why? Like, I'm single, right? I don't know for how much longer. But at the same time, I'm not seeking out bad energy. And I'm not, you know, like, so when you said that, it was just so powerful. Because I know some people, they've been single for a long time.
And that may be why you're single, though. Because like you said, you're not seeking it out. You're not putting that energy out to the universe. Right. You know, it's always, if you want a partner, you have to tell the universe you want the partner, and you have to tell the universe with more than just, I want a partner. It's got to be like you have made space for that person in your life. In your room, there's an extra dresser, there's extra drawers, there's space for them. If you don't have any physical space for them, if you don't have any mental space for them, then while you're telling the universe you want a partner and you're lonely, the universe is really seeing and hearing that you're not ready. And that if they sent that perfect partner to you, right now, the ideal perfect partner that you absolutely want, it might not work. You might be, you know, crossing in the night where if it came at the right time, then it's gonna mesh and it's gonna be perfect and it's gonna be right and it's gonna feel good.
That's so powerful, and it's so true. Like I know, and I know for some of us, you know, we're just like I'm in a place where, you know, not to get all vulnerable, but for me, it's about career, education, helping, and to fulfill my purpose on getting grit everywhere. And so, a part of me is like, I don't want to be in something, and then I'm maybe seen as selfish because I'm not able to.
Or you don't want to get distracted.
Yeah.
You don't want to get distracted. Let's keep it 100. Like, it's distracting. Exactly. It is absolutely distracting to be in a relationship.
Someone, and then they're like, you don't have time for me. You're always gone, or what? Like, that would be like my situation, and I don't want someone to be heartbroken because I can't make space for them. So you know, I've always had somebody who had to like snatch you off the shelf kind of thing. You know, if they really want you, they'll sit you down and do it. But it's
and I just caution you, as I would everyone listening, talk about the things that you do want. You know, focus on all of it. We're kind of taught as children and domesticated and television to focus on the things that we do not want. But the universe doesn't hear I don't. They don't hear that. They just hear what it is you're saying. So all the universe is hearing right now is, I want partners who aren't going to understand my job. I want people in my life that are not going to understand that I am working. It's really important to me. That's all the universe just heard from you. And I know that's not the message you want to convey. And so let's flip it around and say, universe, I want at the right time to meet the right man or woman or whoever that is. I want, and literally like list it on a piece of paper of exactly what you want and the things that you're thankful for. Say it in a grateful way. So I list 10 things I'm thankful for. And I say why I'm thankful for them. And a really key aspect of it is I put things on the list that are not physically here yet. So for you, I would say, you know, I am thankful I have a partner who totally understands my work schedule, because I deserve that. You know, I am thankful that I have a partner who supports all of my work efforts, because that's awesome. You know, I am thankful for, and then just all these things that you have already, things you don't have yet, because then the universe really knows what you want, and watch it work, watch it part ways to make it happen for you to have that perfect dream job the way it's supposed to be, so that you have all the time that you're supposed to have, or you have a partner who's, you know, equally involved in work, that is loving what you're doing and is co-creating it with you. You know, before you know it, you get a partner who comes to your job and becomes your, you know, staff member or something, and now you guys are working together, and everything you do and he does, it's all for the greater good, and you've got the partner. You know, so don't limit yourself. There's no limit to the possibilities of how great our lives can be. We just literally have to believe that whatever we want and anything we want, exactly the way we want it,
Yeah.
Universe waiting for us to ask for it, waiting for us to sit back and enjoy and live and see it happen.
This is great. Thank you so much for spending that for me. I'm happy my peeps were able to see that, because like, I get tired of the people asking like, oh, why aren't you with someone, or why, like you get that question.
Oh
And
yeah.
And we get that, and it's just like, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just
nothing at all. And for people that ask those questions, remember, they are not in alignment. Because if they were, they wouldn't be asking questions about somebody else's choices. It's not really, if they were in alignment, they would understand that that's that person's choice, and they don't need to control them, and they don't need to question it. So they're out of alignment, but also recognizing that it's empowering to be asked that question. Take that as an opportunity to share with people your growth and your grit and your willingness to sacrifice so that you can have what's your purpose, what's great for you. Take it as an opportunity to school people on how showing up for yourself every day and being in a relationship with you, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
There is nothing. That is a beautiful thing. Shoot, that may be stronger and more capable of the ones that seek out validation and seek out connections and seek out relationships to others. And all that's doing is setting you up for the greatest love of your life.
So good. Wow. This is powerful. Well, listen, Attorney Patricia, this has been an honor having you here. Thank you. I definitely plan on being in touch with you. How can the audience members reach you if they're wanting to contact you for any of your services, or they just want to, comment on this podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm on all the social medias. You can find me as attorney_prod or attorney prod. That's ATTORNEYPROD. You can kind of find me everywhere as P-Rod. And then my website is www.attorneyprod.com.
Okay.
And I've got a lot of great information on my website. I've got a lot of great stuff on YouTube. I do some different series like Wish You Knew about the law. And then I tell you a bunch of stuff you wish you knew, like how to dress at court and how to talk to the judge. And so you can definitely find me on all of the socials, YouTube, all of that. And my phone number, if you want to reach the main office, which definitely if you have a current legal problem and you're looking for representation, the best and fastest way is 626-888-5206. And we're located in Pasadena, California, but we handle cases through all of Los Angeles County, Orange County, and the whole state of California.
Do you cover outside of California as well, or just California?
I can certainly refer people to attorneys outside of California. I have a vast network. I went to law school in Philadelphia. So I've got a whole East Coast presence as well as my significant others' families in Florida and a connection there. But I personally don't practice outside of the state of California.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, listen, Attorney Patricia, this has been great having you on the Let's Get Gritty podcast. I think listeners, you have received so many nuggets. This was such a wholesome show. Thank you so much for your light and for being who you are. And you did a great job representing University of Southern California as well as an alum from there. So shout out to all you rock stars there. Again, guys, thanks so much for joining me on the Let's Get Gritty podcast with Dr. India White. Feel free to tune in. Make sure you check in with me, check in with Attorney Rodriguez. And till next time, guys, stay gritty. See ya.
Stay gritty.